So if I was to put, let's just say 20K into my account right now for crypto, how would you distribute that? And this isn't financial advice. So I don't want people.
So this is for like this bull run?
Yeah.
So for this bull run, I would say put 50% right away in Bitcoin.
Mm-hmm.
Don't even think about it. That's kind of, you don't play with it. You keep it. Probably put 5 in ETH, 5,000 in Ethereum. The rest I'd probably split 2,500 in Solana, and then the rest we can probably gamble. Play a little meme coin, play a little leverage.
Let's see where it gets.
Why not? But I would play the 3 essential pillars right now that are running the narratives. Bitcoin, the Bitcoin ETF, we just got it approved recently. The Ethereum ETF, Solana ETF is upon us. Like, these things are taking place. You see maybe a 2 to 3, maybe 4x multiple across those. And then obviously if you're playing the crypto game, you got to have that little degen side. So
I've seen the ETF thing. What is it exactly? What is ETF?
So it's an exchange traded fund. Yeah. It's basically an institutionalized version of people pooling money together in order to buy an asset.
Okay.
So you have ETFs for everything. And now that Bitcoin is considered an asset class, it only makes sense to have an ETF for Bitcoin. But it's opened up the door to now everything being potentially considered inside of crypto. And we've had now the Ethereum ETF that's upon us. Mm-hmm. We have the potential Solana ETF. So I think this is going to start ramping up because the companies like BlackRock and Vanguard, State Street, things of this nature that operate in this capacity and build out ETFs, they collect fees from it.
Yeah.
So why wouldn't they hold $100 billion worth of Bitcoin if they have a 0.5% fee on that? They just have to hold it. Instead of people buying Bitcoin on Coinbase, they can just buy it on Robinhood via an ETF. It's very simple, path of least resistance. And they're there to collect the fee. It's free money. Mm-hmm. They're a business. They're going to get the free money.
Yeah. Yeah, it makes sense, to be fair. And correct me if I'm wrong, but Trump has also endorsed Bitcoin. And this is very interesting, right? Because I think it was only a few days ago, or by the time this podcast comes out, it would have been quite a while ago, Biden has stepped down as president, or running for president, shall I say. And if Trump wins in November, then people are speculating that Bitcoin is going to fly through the roof, seeing as the president of the United States is endorsing Bitcoin. What do you think of that?
I think Donald Trump realizes that crypto enthusiasts are really passionate about decentralization and the freedom of their money, and that there's tens of millions of them that you don't want to piss off. And Biden pissed them off because he's trying to fuck everybody's crypto up. He has Gary Gensler, Muppet-looking motherfucker that's trying to take over the market and ripping our shit to pieces. So people are pissed. Donald Trump says, hey, I'll let you keep your Bitcoin. Hey, I'll let you keep your decentralization. I like it. Starts adding the potentiality of the government holding some. So people want that. People will vote for it.
Andrew Tate always says one thing, right? With people who become multimillionaires through crypto and haven't really worked so much beforehand. So you might see some crypto nerds who's watching this podcast right now, buys crypto and becomes a multimillionaire overnight. They don't know what it takes to have hard work and dedication and go through the sacrifice and the struggle to be an entrepreneur, multimillionaire through that means. Now, what's your opinion on that there?
I mean, who cares? If you made the money, you made the money. Just don't lose it. Don't be the idiot that you're an idiot if you lose the money. If you make money, you're an idiot and you make the money. Now just get really smart. Because, I think it was one of these older kind of speakers. I forget his name. But he has this quote that he says, if you want to make $1 million, you best become a millionaire. Because if you make $1 million and you haven't developed into a millionaire, you'll lose it. Because in life, you are a reflection of your actions. Yep. You are a reflection of your thoughts.
Yep.
So if you haven't developed a millionaire mindset, if you haven't developed millionaire habits, if you haven't developed your ability to keep your money, if you make money by luck, you'll lose it. I've been there. Mm-hmm. But just because you have made money doesn't mean you're a nerd or you're a loser. Just take the money that you have and understand that if you don't level up, that money is in danger. So you level up to preserve your money. You level up as a safety net against yourself, against your own stupidity, right? Because you only lose things and you only fuck up if you don't prepare, if you don't have the knowledge. But it's not something that once you have money, you can't afford to do. You just can't be prideful. You need to understand that just because you have money doesn't mean you have everything else. And I think that that's what Andrew's talking about. It's like, hey, if you got money, that's dope, but that's not all you have, right? There's other attributes that you need to develop. And if you don't have these attributes, nobody's going to respect you, because people don't just respect people with money. Maybe a suck up, maybe somebody that's really parasitic, maybe they just want your money, but nobody just respects money in and of itself.
And do you know what's funny as well? I don't even think people at your level, for example, when you meet people who are on the same level as you, they don't even look at your money, your net worth or anything like that. They look at the different attributes. They already know that you got the money there, but it's like, what else do you bring to the table? What else does Luke Belmar bring to the table besides his money? And it's all about the knowledge and, I suppose, the insight and the attitude you have towards life and towards business is what makes you, which I suppose, yeah, Tate wasn't taking that one into account pretty much, yeah. And I was going to say as well, it's funny because I probably have made quite a bit of money over the last year. And not to say I wasn't prepared for it, but I definitely didn't see that amount coming. But I think over the past few years of talking to people and, you know, seeing what's what, understanding business, you do have more understanding of how to preserve the money, how to make that money last, which I suppose let's get into that one now as well. So as well as making money last, so let's just say you've made a whole load of money in crypto. What would you do to preserve it exactly?
Keep it in Bitcoin.
You would just keep it there. You wouldn't invest it in other businesses or anything like that. You just keep it.
Bitcoin is the greatest asset in human history. People just don't understand it. Dude, I'm in my 20s. I'm worth tens of millions of dollars. I'm not an idiot. People say you got lucky. I didn't get lucky, dude. I worked my ass off for a decade, but I just worked smart. People, maybe we worked the same amount. Maybe you worked harder. Okay, maybe you worked harder than me. It doesn't matter. Maybe I know something that you don't. So when I understand where the world is headed, I understand that what I need is to own my assets. So why the fuck would I have gold bars? If the world goes to shit, the world goes to shit, dude. Oh, okay. Maybe I invest in, some timepieces. Maybe I invest in some real estate. Maybe I diversify. But my understanding of wealth preservation is Bitcoin, dude. I understand it. There's limited supply. I know how many people want it. I'm in the conversations with the guys that literally run the world and run the internet. They all fuck with Bitcoin. They're going to be the rulers of the world of the future. They all love Bitcoin. They all love crypto. So I'm within that space because that's where I operate. On the flip side, the other place where I preserve my wealth is within businesses. So I like to invest in companies. I like to put my money into companies that are going to have the appreciation of equity that then I can sell or I can exit. That's where I find it because I actually have control. Real estate is great. I just personally have never really tapped into it. Most millionaires have come from real estate. So there's no diss there. But the times are changing. There's ways to make money, and crypto and the ability to control via equity or performance of companies for cash flow is the way that I operate. It's working quite well.
So the knowledge you're giving out right now is like the knowledge you would give in Capital Club, right? Now, is Capital Club a place for someone to get rich, or is it for the rich? Interesting
that you asked that. So Capital Club operates in a multi-dimensional funnel because I've taken into consideration aspiring entrepreneurs, developing entrepreneurs that are experienced, and they all have different needs. And because I've gone through these different phases, I know what these individuals need in their given phase. So I can't tell you how an entrepreneur that makes $100 million a year should act because I've never made $100 million in 12 months. But I can tell you how to make $20 million in a year because I've made $20 million in a year. So up in the Capital Club's proportion of growth is in direct proportion to me as a founder, my ability to create and curate experiences for that given category. So it grows with me, which is really cool. So for aspiring entrepreneurs, we have our academy. It's a digital platform, the best online ecosystem to learn how to make money online. I focus on how to make money on the internet because that's where I made my money. So whether it's stocks, crypto, social media marketing, drop shipping, e-commerce, agency, we have a plethora of experts from all around the world that have generated anywhere from 7 to 9 figures come and talk to you and teach you how to specifically master that business model. Now, for developing entrepreneurs, we have our network and our marketplace. So the marketplace is, once I start making money in business, I start realizing I have bottlenecks and that I need networks and connections. I need to have access to rooms and deals. So inside of my marketplace, I give access to my developing entrepreneurs, better payment processing, better rates and discounts with different companies that are essential. So what would cost you, let's say $1,000 a month in subscriptions, because I have connections in my club, now you can get it for $500 because we have better rates, because I can come in as a group.
Yeah.
There's power in numbers, and we're tens of thousands. And then you have your developing entrepreneurs that are moving to developed entrepreneurs and want to network and really want to level up. We have the network experience, where I travel all over the world getting together with some of the most brilliant minds, business, entrepreneurship, finance, and they really appreciate and they cherish in-person relationships. So creating these environments, these spaces, these experiences for them is the third aspect of Capital Club. So Capital Club, the side of educational information, just one aspect, because once again, a lot of these companies, we talked about investing. A lot of these companies that I invest in, they come from my circle of influence. They come from the people around me. So as somebody that wants to see people win and understands the things that are essential to win, if I could create an academy that helps people understand the right mindset, understand the best business models, and curates them into being a good entrepreneur, it then does what for me? It increases my odds of what? Success if I invest into that individual, because I know their formation.
Yeah.
So if I can invest in your formation, then it's a lot easier to invest in your company, because I know what you're made of.
Yeah.
Because you're investing in people. You're not investing in just products and ideas.
Yeah, you meet the people impart
So
yourself.
I've created the entire funnel process from beginning to end. The academy allows me to fund the operations of the club. The networking event allows me to fund the network events in and of themselves. And I make my money off of my investments. And as the owner of the club, it gives me the ability to operate a little bit outside of it. So it's not kind of like other people that live off of the revenue of that club. That's not how I work. I make my money outside of it. So the club kind of operates as its own ecosystem. Capital Club is incredible.
So if you give me an example, you've got a meet up this week in London, right? If I was to come, what would I expect?
So I'll give you
I'll
give you an example, something that was publicly portrayed. So I'm holding a Capital Club event in Spain.
Yeah.
Right. I have the Lior, one of the co-founders of AutoDS, one of the biggest dropshipping softwares out there, says, "Hey, Luke, I want to come over to the event." Hey, no worries. Send you the invoice. See you in Spain. Jordan Welch calls me. Hey, I want to come to Capital Club. Okay, no worries. Send you the wire details. Be here at this location at this time. They don't know anything. They don't know the event, who's speaking, where it's at. Just show up in this place at this time. This is the week. 6 months later, they show up. Networking, 100 entrepreneurs, 5-star restaurants, 5-star hotels, biohacking experience, entrepreneurs coming up from all over the world. These two guys meet, talking. They're like, "Hey, you know what? Jordan, you have a great company." "Well, I have a lot of money, AutoDS." "Well, what if I buy your company?" So from coming together, one receives customers and influence. The other one gets a buyout. So Capital Club creates the ability for you to do business, which is what it's all about.
Yeah, it's the middle party.
It's all about the ROI. You come to Capital Club, you have massive ROI.
Yeah.
That's all I think about. What's the ROI of people inside of Capital Club? If somebody gives me $1,000, I'm thinking, how can they get $10,000 worth of real tangible value? Not some intrinsic, hey, this is worth 997. No. Real, valuable, tangible results. So we see acquisitions take place. We see buyouts. We see business partnerships take place. We see people make tens of thousands of dollars with new business models. We see people all the way from the beginning learning how to make their first $1,000. It's from zero to hero, from peasant to king. Capital Club is phenomenal.
Yeah, best way to do it.